the Picture Book Awards. Megan, thank you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Delighted to be here. And the first book that I would like to mention is And Then It's Spring by Julie Fogliano and Erin E. Stead. A child's anticipation of spring evokes the spare, poetic language of Ruth Krauss and the essence of her own picture book about a child's unshakable hope and patient waiting, The Carrot Seed. In this title, however, the boy awaits not the sprouting of a single plant, but the coming of springtime with its promise of green to emerge from the hopeful, very possible sort of brown that precedes it. Stead's lovely, gently humorous woodblock prints, embellished with pencil, employ a palette that evokes the changing seasons as it expresses the emotional resonance of each scene. I am delighted to present a 2012 Boston Globe Hornbook Honor Book Award for Picture Book 2, And Then It's Spring, published by Neil Porter Books, Roaring Brook Press, a Macmillan imprint, edited by Neil Porter, illustrated by Erin E. Stead, and written by Julie Fogliano.
Congratulations.
Wow, this is really great to be here. I had my first taste of writing when I was a sophomore in high school. The assignment was to write a short story. I had never written anything before, so I had no expectations when I laid down on the bed with a pen and a yellow legal pad. I didn't have a big plan or any idea in mind. I probably even started with Once Upon a Time. But I just started to write and write. The words came flying out, things were written down, crossed out, and written again. I filled up the front and back of the pages in my pad. And the next thing I knew, there it was, a whole story with a plot and characters. I didn't understand where it came from or how it happened. And as I reread it, I was shocked that this character had lived inside me all the while, and I never knew she was there. It was like magic. I was excited and nervous and absolutely hooked. That was 1988. I spent the next 20 years trying to get there again. I tried writing in composition notebooks, sketchbooks, fancy leather journals, both lined and unlined. I tried writing laying down, sitting up, with music, without music, but nothing got me there again. In 2000, I started working as an assistant manager at Books of Wonder, an independent children's bookstore in Manhattan. I thought if I surrounded myself with books and people talking about books, and as it turned out, other aspiring writers and illustrators, that maybe that would help. It did not. In fact, I couldn't write a word while I was working there. In 2008, I was sitting in my living room with my friend George O'Connor, an illustrator who I met while I was working at Books of Wonder. He and I often talked about writing and how the more I tried, the less I wrote. His birthday was the following week, and as a birthday gift, he asked me to write him a thought every day for a year. Just one thought. It could be one line or 10 pages. It could be about my kids or what I had for dinner. But I had to email him something every day for a year. I figured I could handle one line a day, and so I agreed. He did end up getting a whole lot of thoughts about the Legos on my kitchen floor and the pancakes I made for breakfast, but in between all of that, there were tiny moments of actual writing. Writing I didn't realize was happening because I wasn't really trying. I wasn't wringing my hands in agony trying to recreate that one magical moment in 1988. I was just writing to my friend George. And Then It's Spring was thought number 156. I sat down on my computer that night with no ideas. I was tired and grouchy and desperate to go to bed, but I had to write my thought. While I sat there, I decided to check out my friend Erin Stead's new blog. She was just finishing up the art for her first book, A Sick Day for Amos McGee. The first photo she had on her blog was of a table in the grass. It was where she worked on nice days. I loved the idea, but remembered that our yard didn't have any grass. It was brown. All around it was brown. And the next thing I knew, there it was, that moment I had been waiting for since 1988. The words just came. When I was done, I sent thought number 156 off to George, and as a thank you for the inspiration, I sent it to Erin. Never in my wildest, most ridiculous fantasies did I think she would see this as a book she would want to illustrate, and I most certainly never imagined she would secretly send it to her editor, Neil Porter. This wasn't a story, after all. It didn't have a character, didn't even have any action. It was about waiting and the color brown, not exactly two of the most popular subjects for kids. But she did send it to Neil, and he saw it too. They both saw a book in what was just a thought about waiting, and for that I owe them both a big thank you. Thank you, Erin, for understanding what I mean to say more than I do, and for creating something truly beautiful. Thank you, Neil, for making my book dreams come true. Thank you to George for coming up with the whole crazy thought of the day idea, and thank you to Hornbook for this honor.
Hello. I'm very pleased and honored to be here tonight amongst all of these talented people and all of these excellent books. Julie, thank you for writing the way you write. I think you are still unimpressed with your work, and that is a feeling I know very well. I hope since you are standing here this evening amongst these titles here tonight and the titles that have been honored in the past, that you allow yourself a little pat on the back. I am thankful for the difficult but glorious freedom your writing gives this illustrator. Neil Porter is our editor and is also here this evening. Neil, thank you for letting me pitch this book and agree to illustrate it over just a few sentences in an email. That example is one of many demonstrating what a special relationship you've allowed us to have. I'm difficult to work with, and you are very patient. Philip did most of the designing for And Then It's Spring. Philip, I know we are not much for public affection in speeches, so, you know. Thank you, Philip. Finally, thank you to the committee. I am so happy that our quiet, contemplative book was given this honor. I'm proud to be listed with The Beautiful and The Soldier's Thing and this year's award winner, Extra Yarn. What good books. Thank you.